Hey everyone, I'm Bionicle Titan. Welcome to Bionicle Uncovered. Today joining me is...
My name's FX2 Fire.
And my name is Dr. Oral.
And I'm Foda.
And today we are going to be discussing the Toa Metru and the Toa Hordika, the 2004 to 2005 storyline of Bionicle.
Alright, so let's jump right in, ladies and gentlemen. So, roughly 1,001 years ago, the city of Metru Nui was attacked, and as it turns out, the Turaga, whose name was Duma, was captured by Makuta Pterodax. As you all know, he's basically Makuta. And he was impersonated by Pterodax. So, he started telling everybody about how there's going to be something bad, an impending crisis, as it says. And so he got Tom Metru's best mask maker, who is Vakama, to forge the Mask of Time for him, so that he could stop this crisis. But really, he just wanted to use it for its power, because if you control time, you control pretty much everything. So, the monstrous plant known as the Morbuzak appeared and started causing damage and a bunch of other trouble. People were dying throughout the city. And the current Toa, who are the Toa Mangai, Duma was sending them out on, missions and stuff, and none of them would return. So eventually, just one was left, Toa Likan. And around that same time, Dark Hunters were starting to reappear in the city. Likan became suspicious, and realizing that he probably wasn't going to last much longer, and he couldn't defend this entire city on his own, he broke into the Great Temple, took 6 Toa Stones, and gave them to 6 Matoran around the city, and was captured by the Dark Hunters after he delivered the final stone. So, Pterodax actually knew that Likan would choose 6 new Matoran, so he read the stars, as he did, and picked 6 Matoran that were not listed as being destined Matoran to become Toa: Vakama, Nokama, Matau, Wenua, Onewa, and Nuju. And he influenced Likan's mind into choosing these Matoran because he knew that their personalities would clash, they wouldn't be able to work together, etc. But he had been tricked by the Order of Matanui, or actually no, by Matanui himself, who had altered the stars, therefore changing the prophecy of the 6 Matoran who would become Toa, and he changed it to the 6 Matoran who actually knew the location of the Great Discs: Nuri, Vizola, Orkam, Tahuti, Akmu, and Iri. And he planted the names of these Matoran into Makuta's mind. So, basically, Pterodax got jerked around, and yeah, so it turns out he gave Likan the right names. So each of the 6 Matoran, who were actually the destined ones, went to the Great Temple, and they were transformed into Toa. So, pretty much right after they were transformed, Vakama had a vision of the Great Discs, which were what they would need to stop the Morbuzak. So pretty much all of his teammates, most of them, doubted his vision, but they really didn't have anything else to go on. So they decided to track down the Matoran who knew the Great Disc's location, and they realized that one of the Matoran was a traitor, which is Akmu. Hooray, because he's such a little jerk. So the Toa had to brave all the dangers in the city: Morbuzak, Dark Hunters, Vaki, who were the Order enforcement, because, 6 rookie Toa aren't exactly doing a whole lot of good for the rest of the city. In the end, they did manage to get the Great Discs and defeat the Morbuzak. And then they traveled to the Great Colosseum.
Yay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
something that should be noted is that Doom or Pterodax went to the city's top mask maker, Vakama, but in the movie it made it seem as Vakama was not a great mask maker, that because he was putting himself down about not being able to make a decent mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to make us feel bad for him, I guess.
Even though historically accurate, well, Bionicle historically accurate, Vakama is a great mask maker.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, let's move on
Yeah, moving on to the story.
to the Great Cataclysm.
Okay, so the Great Cataclysm is practically just the Bionicle movie. But to explain it in more detail, so on the outside of the city, Matnui crashed into Aquamagna, which caused a lot of things to happen. And while that was happening, Toa presented the discs to Doom, Turaga Duma, sorry. And he was all like, Psh, false, they're false, they're not true Toa.
Yeah, because they couldn't use their elemental powers. They had
Yeah,
fighting the
And they-
Warjack.
and they didn't even know their mask powers yet because it's big plot and not plot, but words. Jeez, words. Anyway, so he had a physical test. He was like, prove your Toa by doing these things. In reality, they all failed except they all failed, and Doom tried to capture them except Vakama, Nakama, and Matau escaped. Well, on the other hand, Anawa, Wanua, and Nuju were captured and put in a prison cell with a mysterious person. Spoiler alert, it's Traga Likon. Wow. Anyway, yeah. Spooky,
Mind
scary skeletons.
Blown.
Yes.
Mind blown.
While the Toa escaped, they went into a Vaki transport, and they were looking at stars, and then one of them had a bright idea that is where Likon was. So they went to follow the stars. On the way, they ran into a herd of Kikanalu, and Nakama found her mask power, and she communicated with the Kikanalu that they're looking for Likon. While on the other hand, not words, and also the Dark Hunters were tailing them and following them, so they got pretty messed up. Yep. Like Kikanalu. They are the best. Anyway, the Toa that didn't escape, they were still in the prison. They were being taught by Likon to use their powers and everything. And eventually, Anawa, he found out his power by trying to make. Was it Wanua or Nuju? Who?
It was Wanua who was getting real
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah, and then he somehow, I don't know, but it's weird because he made him sit down, which is all like, okay, that's weird. And then I'm a little bit foggy on this. How did they
Well,
escape
then-
the prison?
Nuju used his mask of telekinesis to break them out.
Yeah, and then
As they walked
after,
out.
Then
Yeah.
they just kind of walked out.
yeah, which means that they have bad security. If just prisoners can just go, all right, we're out. You know, bad security.
Yeah, and then after they left, Wanua shortly found his powers of night vision.
And they safely made it out. Actually, no, that's a lie. They ran it. Wait, yeah. Then the other toilet escaped. While this is happening, while they're still discovering the mask powers, they run into the Dark Hunters, run into them, whatever. Matau finds his mask of illusion and plays some tricks with Nadiki and Kreka, the two Dark Hunters. And as they were chasing them, there was like a circle thing, and Matau changed into Kreka and told Nadiki to go around. And then when it's confusing saying this because
It's basically just comic relief.
yeah, comic relief. But he told the other Dark Hunter to go around when he was formed when he changed to other Dark Hunter. And shortly after that, they arrived at the prison cell as the other Toa broke out. And then they met, and then it was all like, we've discovered their mask powers, didn't we? And they all did, except for Kama. Poor Vakama. It was all like, I didn't find my master power. And then, the Turaga following them, they didn't know it was Turaga but it revealed, words again. Okay, anyway. He revealed that he was actually Turaga, and then he asked,
Mind blown.
I know.
Again.
He asked, do you have the hard dimension to be safe? Even though that was a message when they're turning to Toa. Which, it's kind of weird because you don't know what it means. And none of the Toa did. Which actually, it means the Matoran. So then they go try to rescue the Matoran, but lo and behold, the false Duma, a pterodax, has them all in Matoran spears, which is messing with their mind, erasing it or whatever.
They also found the true Duma, also
Yes.
trapped in a sphere.
Yep. Everyone dies a speary death. Nope, I'm lying here. Never mind. But while they confronted the Duma, or the false Duma, they ended up chasing him to a rocky point in the movie, and that's where they had a little fighting session. Kama was all like, I'm gonna lose, but then turns out after the Mask of Time was already forged during the journey, but it was forged, Wakami used it, and it slowed down Makuda's Shadow Hand. Shadow Hand. That's just a stupid thing.
Spooky.
He has
But he wouldn't
42.
have been able to dodge it anyway, so...
Yeah, he had 42 different powers, but he used Shadow Hand to kill him.
Maybe that's his favorite. You don't know.
I know, but
He wanted to absorb Vakama's face.
yes.
Anywho,
But yeah. Anywho. So, Turaga Likan, being a hero, even as an old man, jumped in the way, died. Vakama's all like, oh no, he died. No, he died. And then finally found his mask power. And trapped Pterodax in a protodermis cage.
with the rest of the Toa.
Yeah, and the rest of Toa are like, we're Toa now. What up, yo? And then the stars split up, 6 stars. Each color does the Toa's color. And it was all like, we did it. We finally are cool now.
We did
And
it. We did
that's-
it. We did
yes.
it. Yay.
Oh yeah!
Now stop for copyright's sake, man.
We trapped Makuda in a protodermis cage. We did it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We found our mask powers. Yay. Yeah. Anyway, that's where the movie ends, and that's pretty much where the, words.
so then they went. So then they took the Matoran that they had rescued because they couldn't take them all, in that tiny little Vaki transport. They took them to Matanui,
Insert music here.
the island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they kind of just scouted out where everybody was going to live, and they're like, yeah, that place looks cool. That place looks cool. So then, after that, they went back to Metru.
The City of Legends.
Yeah. Something to be noted though about their escape. They encountered a paranoid Onimatoran named Mavra during that time, and also had to fight some Rahi beasts before finally making it to Matanui and setting up the new homes of the Matoran.
Yeah, I kind of neglected that part, but anyway.
Yeah.
Nah, it's good. It's all good in the hood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Then, after they did all that, they returned to Metru. And then, as it turns out, after leaving for like a day,
Sorry,
Suddenly-
guys, hold on. I'm so sorry. I was talking for the past minute, and I thought you were all interrupting me. But
A new challenger approached.
it turned out
Your mic's been muted this entire time.
I muted it because there was some background stuff going on, but then I forgot to unmute it.
All right, well then just go ahead with the great rescue and everything.
Yeah.
The technical difficulties, the joy of the world.
Yes.
Anyways, well, as they went back to the City of Legends, it wasn't as legendary as they thought it would be.
Yep.
And they got there, it was a dump. And Vakam was like, nothing can stop us, we'll just do what we did. They were captured, then later rescued by the Rahaga, and helped them along the way to save the Matoran, beat the bad guys, Rudaka and Sidorak, and they also went to find Kitongu so that they could be relieved of their Hordika venom. And they got the Matoran back to safety. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Yay!
There's actually a whole lot more detail inside of that.
Well, there's a movie
Yeah.
for that, so...
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the movie actually left out a bunch of stuff. I mean, during the
Well, there's
mission,
also books for that.
Well, none of the movies really truly followed the books 100%.
And also,
Do any movies?
no.
no,
Harry Potter.
not at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
There is actually one thing that I wanted to bring up. There's a very confusing scene, at least it's been confusing for me in Legends of Metru Nui. There's a scene where you see Turaga Duma, and you see like the glowing red eyes that always shows Makuta talking to people, and they're having a conversation. So I don't know if the people who made the movie thought Duma was actually a bad guy, even before he was impersonated by Pterodax.
Yeah.
Well, the name Doom. That already gives you a sad. Well, not sad.
Well, they even pronounce it Duma in the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very confusing, as I remember that now that you bring it up, because we find Duma's body at the end of the movie in one of the Matoran spirits already, and he eventually wakes up again, but it's hard to understand that. I think it was just something that they were trying to do, making it seem like he was a bad guy at the time, but being later, I don't understand exactly how that worked. It may have been...
Maybe they just forgot to cut it out.
It also could have been... My other theory to this is that Makuta had not taken full possession of him yet, and he had just poisoned him, or was using mind control.
No, it was he was talking to himself. That was
that
the movie effect they were giving. It was he was talking to himself.
That too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Something to be noted when the Toa Metru returned into Hordika, the Mask of Light kind of pops in there as Anawa uses his Ratuka and like puts in a case of stone. So,
yeah,
and that's the totem that Takua finds in the Mask of Light arc.
Takua!
Yeah, that's they pretty much set up the entire Mask of Light movie through this.
Yeah.
Which I don't know about you guys. This is sort of going a little off topic, but I think the Bionicle movies were pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
Number one being the most off key, but I think that one with the Toa Mata would have been even better.
Yes. Please.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For
back to the Great Rescue.
Yeah.
The great rescue.
Yep.
The rescue of justice.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, basically the Visorak spiders went up and bit them Toas. And they're all like, oh wait, I'm a Hordika soon.
Yep.
And Sidorak is trying to get Rudaka to marry him because he's lonely. And he met her eHarmony. So yeah, Sidorak's basically a giant idiot. Rudaka is extremely power hungry, but then again, she is a vortex, so what could you expect?
Yeah.
Vakama is influenced by her charm, I guess, and betrays his buddies. Because why not?
Them high heels, man. Them high heels.
I guess. And so then he is given control over the Horde after Hordika is all like, "Oh, Sidorak, he's my gift to you, along with the 5 Rahaga that he captured, except
Yep.
Norik to leave a message." And so yeah, then she's like, "I also accept your marriage proposal." He's like, "Oh, well, that's wonderful, Hordika." So then Vakama is given command over the Horde of Vrak, and the Toa search for Kitongu, who is awesome.
Yes.
Giant one-eyed hermit Rahi.
Of Keytorange.
He is Keytorange.
Yep,
Yes,
that
Keytorange.
name color comes from him.
Yep. Trademark Kitongu 2005. So then after that they decide, all right, we're gonna launch an assault on the Great Colosseum because we need Vakama back because we love him. We also need to get this venom out of our body before we go completely bestial.
Rahi.
So they advance on the Colosseum, and they start, just a big fight, fighting so many Vizorak, while Norik frees the Rahaga, and Kitongu starts climbing that tower. And so
Yeah.
Sidorak and Hordika go down, and Sidorak tries to shoot him, and he misses horribly. And Hordika insults him, and then she manages to shoot Kitongu down off the tower, and he lands in the Colosseum. And so then they go down, and they're about to finish him. And so Sidorak is like, "The final blow is yours, Hordika." And so she tosses him her Rotuka spinning claw, whatever it was that she had. And so she's like, "You do it." And she starts walking away. He's like, "No, wait, come back." And Kitongu gets up and, as depicted in the film, violently and brutally crushes Sidorak with his bare hands.
Yeah.
A little much for kids there.
Which is pretty cool. But still, in the film, as Sidorak is screaming in pain while Kitongu brings his giant, muscular Rahi arms down upon him.
I bet he laughs up. He's all like,
Yeah, that's also,
when he's getting up behind him.
That's also a reason that Bionicle 2015 is definitely being more kid. Like, we're not going to get to see anything like that ever again from Bionicle because of how kid-friendly it's trying to be right now.
Thanks, Kitongu. You ruined the future.
One thing that annoys me, Kitongu, the set, is considerably smaller than both Sidorak and Hordika's sets.
Yes.
Despite him being easily quite a few feet taller than them.
I think it's like Loss in the new Bionicle. You know how he has a small set, even though like in the animation it depicts him a bit like taller.
Yeah, even though he's ginormous.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Toa, Matau actually goes because he feels that it was his fault mostly that Vakama left them because Matau is an idiot who needs to keep his mouth closed. I wonder what he's like as a Turaga. But anyway.
Probably fun.
Maybe.
Some interesting things. Before Vakama was allied with Hordika and got tempted by her, during their mission, Wenua and Bomunga were captured, and the Rahaga, other Toa, the Kraka, and had stormed a Vizorak outpost and were fighting like a huge battle. So this is like the second biggest battle for them this time. And the Gargantuan Zivon was released from the Field of Shadows and joined the fight. Jeez. But yeah, after that, they successfully hid the Kanohi of Aki and found it. And the story goes on from there until, in the end, they ended up getting defeated. And Kitongu ends up deciding, hey, you guys are Toa that are worthy of transformation, and I'll take you back and you guys become Toa.
Yep.
So he changes them back, and they find these convenient airships. I guess they pull them straight out of Lake Metru. But yeah, they load the rest of the Matoran pods on there.
On the Lecon 2.
Yep, the Lecon 2. And they fly away. Oh, but before we get to this point, as the Hordika was killed by the Toa Hordika. However, she had shoved in her chest a piece of Makuta's protodermis prison, and all of the Toa fired their Rotuka spinners upon her, unleashing the 6 elemental powers upon her that were used to create the seal of protodermis that surrounded Pterodax, thus breaking the seal. So he's out.
Yep.
He's active again. So they're flying away. They see that his protodermis prison is gone pretty much, and they're like, "Oh no, he is free." And Vakama's all like, "Don't worry about it. We'll worry about that later." They bring all of the Matoran to Matanui, but Vakama has some unfinished business on Metru.
Yep. And the Trap of Time,
which involves the Vahi, the Shadowed One, Voparok, Pterodax, and the Karzani plant.
He's got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
He does. But the most important thing, they managed to get to Matanui, and they sacrificed their Toa powers to awaken the Matoran, who are in a weakened state after the time spent in the pods. And so they all bring him there, and they lead them to where they're going to live. And the Matoran have no memory of their lives on Metru Nui. Jaraga try to keep it a secret from them.
Oh yeah. Also, for a note, one of the Matoran's mask was broken, and the Toa have the mask of Lecon. Put on the mask of Lecon onto the Matoran, and there you go. You got Jala.
Jala's legendary How.
Whose Komau broke, and they gave him Lecon's How, and what really sucks is that How is now somewhere in the realm of Karzani, probably destroyed.
Which I think about it. I think about him with a Komau, and it really does make more. I always have liked him better with the How that I've always seen him with.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for this episode. What do you guys think?
I think we pretty much got everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, until next time, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
You see you guys next time with an episode on the Order of Matanui. See you guys later.